But I feel like if mermaids were real, they'd want to sleep with me.
There ain't enough space in this town for the two of us, boy.
What do mob bosses say?
Hey, Tommy Shelby, eh?
Oh, I'm Tommy Shelby. I love sausage rolls and beer.
That's like Italian mobster.
Yeah, but I'm not Italian. I'm not Italian.
What are you?
I'm Tommy Shelby.
He's British.
Yeah, he's British.
Bangers and mash, bangers and mash.
Fish and chips, fish and chips.
I'll mash your head in. I'll mash your head in like bangers and mash, bangers and mash.
Do you think that's what people say?
I'm Tommy fucking Shelby.
Tea and biscuits. We've got to get the cheese, grommet. What do I say? I say, he are the cowboy. He are the cowboy. Voting for Trump. Voting for Trump.
How about that for a Nick?
He are the cowboy. I don't know. Welcome back to episode 73, 72, 71, 72 of the Jake and Marty podcast. We've got a special guest in the house this week, Gemma, our local Halloween hero. She is a superstar. So yeah, if you guys haven't picked up on what we're doing this week's pod, it is Halloween tomorrow. So this podcast will release next week. So we're actually having a podcast that will release on Halloween, but this is our Halloween podcast. Because we fly by the beat of our own drum.
And Marty's a terrible communicator.
Doesn't like talking about his feelings. No, so I'm a cowboy, hee-haw. Jake's a mob boss with a zesty jacket.
It's not zesty.
It's not fashion. It's definitely zesty. And Gemma... But Gemma's a beautiful princess that has glamour. You're a wannabe mob boss.
She is... get it right? She queerly is Princess Diana.
Princess Diana from...
Pre-crash.
Pre-car accident.
Yeah. Actually, with how quiet she's being right now?
Post-car accident. Yeah, so happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you all got lots of treats.
Action.
And action. I hope that... for all you kids out there, you didn't receive any razor blades or pills. I hope you got nothing but candy. And something I want to bring back to the Halloween community, it's not very big here in Australia, but I think kids nowadays don't carry a trick in their pocket.
No.
They're saying trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat. And you always seem like the stick in the mud when you say trick. And they're just like, give me a treat. Give me something. And so I'm going to start saying, if you can show me a trick, I'll give you a treat. If not, you get miso soup.
I always carry a trick in my pocket. Do you want to know my trick?
What's your trick?
Well, I don't want to spoil it, but since this is coming out after Halloween, I'm going to spoil it. They'll go like trick or treat, and then I'll just stand there and I'll like make my face go bright red and I'll pretend to shit my pants.
You'll pretend to shit your pants, or you just will?
Well, it's like a 50-50 at this rate.
It's not much of a trick if you don't.
The forward worm.
Oh. I actually used to have a magic trick that was that thing that's like the red ball in the cup, and it's sometimes you can pull it out, sometimes you can't. I did that one year as my trick, and somebody actually... I was so proud of it. I'm like, I got a trick in case anybody asked. And somebody actually asked me for a trick.
There's always one person that does.
Yeah.
Go, show me it now.
There's always...
And when you have nothing prepared, you say when you're like,
I didn't trick or treat much. I think I only ever did it 2 years. But there's always one that asks you for the trick, and there's always one that asks you to come get the treats out of the underneath his bed. There's always one of those two.
And that's the real trick.
And that's the real trick.
You should have said trick.
Trick.
I'm wiggling my ears. Can you see it?
Oh, I thought you were shitting yourself.
How about now?
Am mine?
yeah, Tyson actually can.
I actually can too. I just wasn't trying because I wanted to act all cool and nonchalant.
Oh, you actually can? Damn.
Yeah.
Why would you not just do it? That was not cool and nonchalant. It just made you look like a loser that couldn't wiggle his ears but wanted to really badly. I can wiggle everything.
That's what the ladies like nowadays.
I can literally wiggle everything on my body. I can wiggle my scalpel. I can wiggle my eyes. I can wiggle...
is not a part of the body.
I can wiggle my ears. And I can wiggle my butt.
I can wiggle my butt. The jammers know about it.
You can jiggle your butt. There's a big difference.
No, I can wiggle my butt.
No, you can't wiggle your butt.
Wiggle my
You're
butt.
not that experienced yet. No.
Wiggled.
Yeah, I mean, he wiggled his butt. Yeah, so did anything interesting happen on the spooky Halloween, spookiest week of the week?
Spookiest week of the year.
You said spookiest week of the week.
No. Actually, I've been throwing out some tricks, but not like the tricks as in like the cool tricks that you can do, like the tricks as in questions that you ask people that gets them, makes them like uncomfortable. So I've been asking my coworkers this week, just like as a little trick. What's the freakiest thing you've ever done?
Not a good trick. To ask your co-workers, definitely not a good trick.
Great trick, because I actually warmed them up with a previous question. From Ted Lasso we watched the other night. First concert you ever went to, and best concert you ever went to.
That's just an icebreaker question.
Yeah, but that warms them up. And especially with this one particular guy that I asked, we were talking about it, and he said, like, what's yours? And I said, Missy Higgins and Missy Higgins. And he said, I saw Missy Higgins once, and that was the first time that I, like...
Cried.
No, like, it was at a festival, and he said he went back to the tent after that, and he... who was boss?
What the heck?
Yeah.
After Missy Higgins?
After Missy Higgins. Yeah,
Maybe I didn't get the full Missy Higgins experience.
Yeah, so I thought that would have been the freakiest thing he ever did, but he refused to answer the question.
I was going to say that's a good trick because it's a bit like, see how quickly HR can get me to disappear from the company. I taught someone a new trick this week. Mm-hmm. Someone walked into my my work and picked up one of the backpacks off the shelf and said, how do you put this thing on? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I know how to put it on, but how do I tighten it? And for all you people out there that are trying to visualize the strap mechanism on this backpack, it is a completely standard strap mechanism. Pull them down to tighten, pull them out to loosen. Didn't get it. And I taught him how to pull it out. He goes, and then, like, I understood the pull it out bit because it's a bit fiddly and maybe you don't know what you're doing. So I taught him that. We went through that process and that was fine. And then he's like, it's a little too tight now. I was like, I mean, it's a little too loose now. And I'm like, oh, tighten them up. And then I said, pull them down. Pull the two straps down.
Didn't get
tighten. He pulls them directly out like he's a bald eagle soaring in the wind. And I actually, at that, I'd walked away. I couldn't bear it. And so he ended up, I don't know, I think he ended up buying the bag. But I don't think he ever managed to get it off.
Yeah.
So that's okay. That's literally all that happened in my week.
Booze bus. This was an experience I had on the way to the podcast, and this got a bit of backstory to it. So last night, we had some family friends over, and mum's friends, so therefore family friends. And the only way that I can get through having family friends over is by drinking.
That's so mean.
No, well, I didn't have... I cracked open a beer, and Dad insists we have it in the glasses when we have guests over. So I poured it into a glass, and there was a little bit left. So I put the cap back on, put it in the fridge. I thought, I'll drink that later.
Can you just finish that part of the beer? Couldn't that be the first part of the beer you drink?
Yeah, but you can't drink out of the bottle, not when guests are around.
It's really that strict.
It's really that strict.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Can't argue with Stephen's rules.
No, you can't. So put it in the fridge, and I was like, oh, I'll have that after work tomorrow.
Oh, that would have got me buzzing all day at work.
Yeah,
Just super excited.
I was excited for like one sip just when I got home. And then I got home, and we were organising to do the podcast, so I was like, oh, I'll have it after the podcast. Oh, no, I could have it now. Oh, do I not? Anyway, I thought I'll be good because it'll get me through the podcast. I'll be good, and I'll be able to look forward to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm driving out to yours, and I turn the corner, bang, booze bus.
Really? There you go.
For our American listeners out there, a booze bus is basically just like random breath testing, where they just test your breath for alcohol, and if you do it, if you have alcohol on your breath and it's over the limit, they get you out of their car and they put you in a firing line and they shoot you.
Yeah, it's pretty intense over here.
Yeah. So I was a little bit stressed, even though I hadn't had the beer, but I thought because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like there's a bit more to this than just like breathalyzing. I feel like it also could read your mind as if you were thinking about drinking and driving. And I feel like the look on my face showed that.
Yeah, AI's gone pretty far recently.
When I was driving up and it was full of people, like it was full, there was no place to pull off, and the guy said,
oh, he picked you.
Yeah, he picked me. He picked me. There was no spot for me to park. He said, just wait, hold up traffic. He was adamant. Anyway, then my...
Did I ever tell the story about how I scraped through with my life to a booze bus?
No.
It's probably not necessarily PG. No, go on then. Fine.
Yeah, fucking asshole.
Yeah, my bad.
So anyway, then hate to bring up another love interest on the podcast.
You
My
don't hate to do it. Don't act like you hate to do
police girlfriend now came to my rescue. She was breathalyzing the first car in the line, and she saw me, and I think we made eye contact. And I don't want to exaggerate too much, but her eyes popped out a little bit. Her eyes popped out, made love hearts, and then popped back in. And then she came skipping. Like, she was literally skipping across the road, and she said to him, let him go.
Did she actually?
Yeah, she said, let him go. She either said, I didn't have my window down, so I didn't know. She either said, let him go, or she said, we got one! We got one! So they were just letting
Or she
everyone
said,
else
this
go.
guy's looking at me funny, I think we should just let him slide.
No, well, I don't think I even had a particularly attractive face on, because as soon as I saw the booze bus, I was smiling and I was listening to music, and then as soon as I saw it and I came around the corner, I was like...
Why were you so scared?
Yeah, you were scared that you didn't have the beer, but
I
they
was
might
scared that I
know
didn't have them, but they would be able to tell.
that you were thinking of it.
They knew that I was thinking of it.
Yeah. No, fair concern.
I feel like they actually got my mum on speed dial. They were like, was Jake thinking about drinking and driving again? Was he thinking about it? And mummy goes... He was. Teach him a lesson. Teach him a lesson.
Send him to the big house.
Yep.
Send him to the big house. Send him to the icebox.
I would not survive one day in prison.
I don't think you would either.
So I don't know if I'd do too well in prison. I think I'd have to dial down my feminine side a little bit. Because...
The jacket's not helping.
No, I was actually talking to a guy at work the other day. And I don't know how we got on the topic. And I was like, I don't think I look particularly feminine, but I feel like the way I act is particularly feminine. It might have been because I think I got myself in some situation with a gay guy at some point in my life.
Oops.
Nothing happened there. I just want to clear that up.
You don't have to clear anything up.
No, but I just don't want, because then if they think that it's happened before, then it's happening now.
Oh, okay. I'd appreciate if you cleared it up then.
Yeah. And it wasn't Marty. Never will be Marty. We're actually going to address these now.
They call me a cowboy.
A gay cowboy.
Basically, moral of the story, don't drink and drive, but if you are going to drink and drive, make sure you put a pretty face on, because who knows, there might be a girl that's just looking to let you free.
Yeah. If I was in that situation and she said let him go, I would have put down my window and like, you fucking breathalyze me, I've got a girlfriend.
I feel like, now that I
Breathalyze
think,
me right now. Give me a beer and then breathalyze me. Send me to the big house.
now that I think about it, maybe she wasn't interested in me, because I feel like if a police officer was interested in you,
She wanted to get.
she would put
would've
you in
wanted to-
handcuffs.
Yeah, and she would have wanted to get as close to your mouth as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she didn't put me in handcuffs. Maybe that comes later.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like third date sort of thing.
That's right after Nobu.
It's crazy. Crazy.
Okay. Halloween Hero is a segment where we're going to get our special guest Gemma on. So come on, step right up, Gemma. So what we've got here is a little Halloween quiz to make this themed podcast a little bit more themed. Gemma is this year's Halloween Hero. So I was hoping. So yeah, this year's Halloween Hero is Gemma. She's the reigning champ. That is my decision. She's considers herself to be very educated on Halloween movies and Halloween trivia. And so she's going to go head to head with the Jake and Marty podcast this week. Mm-hmm. Jake is representing the Jake and Marty podcast. So we've got Jake and Marty podcast versus our Halloween hero, which is Gemma. So we've got a bit of Halloween trivia.
Why am I scared I'm going to lose?
We've got 10 questions. If the game ends in a tie, we'll do 2 tiebreaker questions. So we've got 12 questions in total ready to go. Okay?
What if it ends in a tie again?
Then we'll go
We
to...
fight to the death.
Then we'll do rock, paper, scissors.
Why don't you just do one tiebreaker question?
Oh, we'll see how it goes. All right. Which science fiction...
boss
And
of
you
the
guys
thing.
in your car listening right now, play along. We'll do a buzzing system. So, Jake,
Yeah.
can we hear your buzzer, please?
Jake and Marty!
No, too long, too loud.
Jake.
Jake?
Gem, but are they not too similar?
Nah, that we'll be able to tell, because I have a really
I'll say Eve.
high voice and you have a really deep
Wait,
voice.
Eve.
No, just say Jim.
Just say Jem.
You can say Jem, you say Jake, okay?
Yeah. What if I get confused and say Jem by accident?
Well, then she's going to answer the question. All right. First question. Which science fiction horror series from Netflix is set in the fictional town of Hawkins?
Jake.
Gem! Oh.
Wednesday.
Gem! Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, our Halloween hero, is on 1 point.
But I don't watch that show, so that's not fair. That's my point.
Aim of the game. Aim of the game.
It's just Halloween stuff. Be cultured.
Is any of them finished with Wednesday? Because that's my favourite TV show.
You never know, Jacob.
It has
you never
General
know.
Taker.
You never know what might come up.
It has General Taker.
You never
There's
know
definitely going to
what
be a
might
question.
come
You're
up.
obsessed with it.
You never know
Let's
what
go
might come
on.
up. I just got this from the internet.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not that creative. In what do we do in Shadows? What specific type of vampire is the character Colin Robin?
Jake! An emotional vampire or something like that.
Okay, Gemma, you get one answer to see who gets closer.
Wait, what was even... I couldn't even understand some of the words.
That
you
was
said.
wrong, but
Do we do
No,
it?
but it's a premise.
in what we do in the Shadows, what specific type of vampire is the character Colin Robinson? You said, and
It was like an emotional vampire. That's what he is. I don't know what the term
depressed
is.
vampire?
an energy vampire. I'm going to give Jake a point just because emotional energy, close enough.
That's what he does.
What is that?
So
Do we
basically,
do?
it's like a vampire, but like he'll
Is that an
It's like
anime
you know
show?
how the conversations we have. You know how like afterwards you feel like shit and you like hate talking to me.
Yeah.
Like I'd be an emotional vampire because like instead of
But
feeding
what
off
is
blood,
this reference from?
instead
That's
of-
what you're not understanding.
oh,
what
it's
I'm
like of a
asking.
TV show.
Okay.
It's all like from Halloween movies and shows.
Yeah,
Alright.
so it's just going to be whoever's seen the show gets
Yeah.
it right.
You've definitely been heard, man.
Okay. Who plays the title character in the mystery crime drama Jonathan Creek, which first aired in 1997?
Jem.
Gonna skip that question. It was Alan Davis for all you listeners that got it right.
That was what I was going to say, but I got confused and said
I
Gemma's
wouldn't
name by
have got
accident.
In the Friends episode, the one with the Halloween party, the characters... You've seen Friends, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
The characters dress in memorable but not particularly spooky costumes. What did Phoebe dress as?
Gem! Supergirl.
Halloween Hero is now on 2 points versus Jake and Marty are on 1 point.
Fair, you know she watches Friends all the time.
I don't watch it all the time. I've seen it once.
I actually thought you'd
So-
seen it
Yeah,
before.
well, I've seen it nonce.
Could have just guessed the Halloween costume. That's not scary.
Okay, I actually don't think anyone will get this next
Superman?
question. You would have been close,
If you said Superman, he would have given it to you.
probably. But she's a woman. So, put it together. Alright, what iconic phrase did Scooby-Doo monsters and villains usually say when they were captured by the gang?
Gem! If it wasn't for you and that dumb dog, or something like that.
Gonna go to Jake.
If it wasn't for you meddling kids and
Gonna
your...
go back to Jem.
Just do.
It changes every time.
You were probably on
Yeah.
a more right path.
Yeah.
I'll let you finish.
That's what I'm saying. If it wasn't for you meddling kids and your little mutt friend...
I was closer.
What comes first? There's something that comes first.
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you stupid kids and your dumb dog. Or do we need word for word actively get it?
The
right?
answer-
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids and your silly dog.
Ding, 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 ding!
Yeah!
I was looking for meddling kids is what we were looking for. So 2-2 is currently how the story's going. How many... Okay. Hey! You lost a point.
You two cheat all
no,
the
You lost.
time.
You got a warning.
Okay, I've
You
got,
got
a warning.
If you do something like that again, you will lose a point, and she will get the point.
What if I do like one of these ones? Is that allowed?
I'll see. How many of the 5 types of infected zombies can you name from The Last of Us?
Never seen it.
Jake. Clicker. There we go, I got one.
He actually got one. Do you want to have a go at one?
I've never seen
Have
it.
a guess. What does a zombie do?
I
The
didn't
answer
want
we
to
were
do
looking
that.
for is runners, stalkers, clickers, bloaters, shamblers, and the Rat King.
The Rat King?
Jake and Marty get 1 more point. It is currently 3-2. Moving on to question
Can I
number
do it now?
8. No, you can't do it. Which sister from the famous Kardashian Jenner family starred in American Horror Story?
Gem. Kim Kardashian.
Ding, 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 ding! And 3-3. This is going down to the wire, people.
Don't look at me like that.
Alright. You ready? The tie-breaking question. This isn't the last question, but it's still a tiebreaker, nonetheless, people.
Not really.
Name the actress who played Wednesday Addams in
Jake!
Tim Burton.
Oh, what's her name again? Oh...
General
Jake or
Ortega.
Ortega. I already buzzed.
Gemma gets a point.
I already buzzed. That's illegal. That's illegal.
Gemma gets
That's
a
illegal.
point.
That's illegal.
You
I
took
buzzed.
so long to answer.
Yeah, but I buzzed. He didn't allow it. As General Ortega, I literally said it earlier. You gotta give me that. You gotta give me that.
3-4. The Halloween Heroes way.
You can give it to him. I don't care.
All right, I will.
asshole.
No. Name the actress who played in Wednesday Addams in Tim Burton's Wednesday.
Jake! Oh, there.
Okay. You can both get a point. You both
Yeah,
did very
both get a
well.
point, both get a
4-4.
point.
Moving on to the final question. Bates Motel, starring Freddie Highmore, in the prequel to which classical horror film?
Gem. The Shining.
No.
Gem. Psycho.
Jake, a night before Christmas.
Jem gets the point and
Is
the
it
win.
Psycho?
It's Psycho.
A Nightmare
I
Before
can't believe
Christmas.
I said The Shining.
Normally, we would have probably gone to the next person to have a guess after one
No,
person
that's
had a
right.
guess.
I wasn't
But
thinking.
I don't think you were going to get that, and I think that
I
Gemma
did buzz
very
in.
well would have got that. And she did buzz in. What is the name of the young woman who vanishes in David Lynch's cult series Twin Peaks?
Jake. Violet from The Incredibles.
Good guess, but no. I have one more question to go to a tiebreaker.
Such an idiot.
I have one more question to go to a tiebreaker, and this is worth 100 points.
It could be worth 1 point.
It's worth 100. I don't care what it could be worth. It is worth 100. It is for all the marbles. What is Marty's favourite Halloween movie?
Jake. Home
I'll get it
Alone.
right. That's not even a Halloween movie.
Bum,
That's a
bum.
Christmas
Jake
movie.
strikes out
Yeah.
once. To be fair, I have an idea of what I'm going to say, but if
Corpse
you guys...
Bride.
No.
That be up there?
No. It's a good movie.
Did she say Coraline?
You got to buzz in still.
No.
Jake? Coraline.
No. Good movie, though, as well.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Hubie Halloween!
Hubie Halloween is my
I've never
favourite
seen it, so...
favourite Halloween movie. I don't even know if it is my favourite, but it's a good one. Would recommend watching.
I would say what you enjoyed watching Corpse Bride more when we watched that.
Maybe. Thank you very much to our special guest, our Halloween expert. It was a tight one, though, Jake. You really held us in there to the end. There might be a bit of controversy and rewatching of the game footage towards that Jenna Ortega question. But other than that, I think Gemma had a very noble win. And so congratulations, Gemma. Jake and Marty will be coming for the Halloween hero next year. Did you like that segment?
Jake's girlfriend will be starring next year.
Hopefully.
As what? As the Halloween expert?
Yeah. It's going to be my girlfriend versus your girlfriend.
And so many of those movies were not very famous Halloween.
Yeah.
I just got it from online, so you guys can't argue with me.
Well, we can't, because that was
poor.
poor.
A lot of them were really popular. Wednesday Addams, Stranger Things, Friends.
Yeah, but they're not like infamous like Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah,
shows.
I would have
They're
preferred
infamous
if...
sci-fi shows.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a good quiz, and the Gemmers thought so as well.
Wednesday is more Halloween, I guess. But
Yeah.
Stranger Things doesn't.
Psycho?
Halloween at all. That is a classic Halloween movie.
Yeah.
That's why I got that question right.
After a bit of thinking.
Obviously.
All right, next, let's do Jake's dates.
Jake's date. This was actually something that I wasn't planning on bringing up on the pod, but then I walked in on dinner earlier, and Mama Marty brought it up. This date, basically, that I must have mentioned, or mentioned something like it, and somehow it got brought up in conversation. And Gemma and Marty were trying to convince me to go on this date with a girl. To be fair, I did leave out some key details of why I didn't want to go on the date. I asked this girl on a date, and we were chatting a bit, and we were organising it, and we were going to go, and then we were trying to figure out where to go, and she recommended that we go... This is a first date, by the way. First date, I don't really know her that well. Well, she wanted to go to Nobu.
Which, for any of you out there that are just like me and didn't know what Nobu was, it is apparently a very infamously expensive, nice restaurant around the world.
Yeah. Like, Gemma was saying, like, the Kardashians eat there. Yeah. Gemma just nodded for the people at home. Yeah, so not exactly a first date place, and your mum thought it was crazy.
Yeah, she was losing her marbles about it.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever go there. I don't think I'll ever have something in my life be significant enough to warrant going there.
We'll go there one day.
Yeah, we will.
I'll take you there the day that you quit snus.
I'm not even on it.
Yeah, sure. It's been a rocky slope, Jammers, since we tried it on pod. Let's just say that much.
Oh, it has not. It was one time. That happened like 4 or 5 times.
It's a mistake I made once that I repeated 7 times.
Yeah, it's like I don't even I use them like 6% of the time, 100% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, so crazy date.
Yeah. So anyway, after she had communicated that she wanted to go there, and I looked it up and realized how expensive it was, I kind of decided I didn't want to go on the date anymore because it just felt weird. And so I voiced that to Marty while we were playing games together, and Gemma was hanging out with Marty at the time. And Marty said, "Oh, why don't you want to go on the date?" All this other stuff. Anyway, then Gemma caught wind of it, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. She started calling me an asshole. She said, "Why'd you ask her out on the date if you don't want to go on the date? You're such an asshole." To be fair, I probably could have cleared my name right there and then by mentioning why, but I like the mystery aspect. So I just said, I don't like her.
You like you were backing your redemption arc.
Yeah.
That's what you were doing, I reckon.
Yeah.
You were like,
Wanted us to think you were really cool. Like, yeah, I don't want to go anymore.
I think it speaks wonders about the podcast. I reckon she just thought that you had mad podcast money. I know you say you didn't tell her, but I think we're at the point where you don't need to tell her anymore.
Yeah. I think she probably saw a photo of me floating around on the internet where I'm just like wearing this pair of pants, and it has like really deep pockets. And she probably thought,
he's carrying some load.
Yeah,
in
there's
there.
also another photo of me floating around, and this one's a little bit more embarrassing, but I understand why she'd think that I had a lot of money. Is also same pair of pants, big pockets, but in my left pocket I had like 4 or 5 just like cans of Zins. So
cans?
cans?
Can?
Or what
Container?
do you call it? Container.
Tupperware?
Yeah, Tupperwares of Zins, and so it looked like I had just fat stacks. Really, it was just it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, slippery slope with addiction.
Yeah,
All right, that was a good date.
Yeah.
That you didn't go on.
yeah.
Thanks for updating.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Praise my bank account. Praise my bank account.
Yeah. Oh,
All right, let's debate.
would have been spending my birthday money all at once.
So, break open the piggy bank, boy. Oh, that's my phone. I'm going to need that for this segment. So, we do a segment, I run a segment, a little one called Thoughts to Think About. This is kind of along the same page. But we're going to be debating this week. We had one... Excuse me. Get the fuck off your phone during a podcast. Checking himself out. We had one not long ago called... We have Thoughts to Think About. We had one that's questionable, which is more questions. This is debate topics, and we're going to debate each other on these topics. Gemma, you can feel free to get involved in your opinions, or feel free to keep playing your verbal game.
I love a controversial.
The first
podcast.
debatable topic we have is we have no way of proving there aren't also people join in on the debate. We can't hear your arguments, but I'm sure they're correct. We have no way of proving that people aren't underwater humanoid species like mermaids, as we have only seen 5% of the global ocean.
Wait, so you're trying to say is that we have no proof that mermaids...
Yeah, I'm saying we have no way of proving that mermaids aren't real.
I have a way of proving that mermaids aren't real. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, and this is going to come across very like egotistical and stuff and narcissistic. But I feel like if mermaids were real, they'd want to sleep with me.
Owen, Indy, and Ruben were actually talking about something along these lines. Of if you were like captured by the underwater mermaid species, and no, they gave you like a breathing apparatus of some sort, or gave you gills, I don't know. And they said we have twin princesses. You have to marry one and become the king. So you're getting like riches upon riches. But you have to marry a mermaid. He says, I've got 2 daughters. One of my daughters is a fish top with a human bottom, and one of my daughters is a human bottom with a fish bottom. That doesn't make sense.
A human top with a fish bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go human top, fish bottom.
Fair enough.
You guys would fucking talk about that. It's so weird.
No, but
How's that weird? It's
here's-
interesting.
I actually heard a rumor, and this is
Because the
from
fish bottom will be able to walk around on land.
No, the human bottom would, not
the human.
Yeah,
bottom.
the human bottom
Yeah,
would.
but here's the thing. Then you've no one likes to look at. No one. I've never seen a pretty fish.
Gets a pretty fish.
Have you ever seen fish tail?
Yeah, pretty gross. Pretty slimy.
Yeah, but that's no, but
Hot as hell.
yeah, but that's also animated.
Yeah, but there's nothing saying that the girl with the human top is even your preference.
Well, humans are my preference. No, but I actually back on the part that I picked up on the breathing apparatus. I heard actually heard a rumor from my sources in the sea. I went fishing once and I caught this one fish, and he told me that the way that mermaids let humans breathe underwater was that they give you like as a certain back rub that they give you like a back massage, but they'd use a special type of rosemary oil, and it would allow you to breathe underwater for like 15 minutes.
Really? We got to test that.
16 and a half.
Well, this is
but
the
I
debate.
round to the nearest
This
15.
is the debate. Jake says breathe underwater. Jem says ain't no way.
What about a mermaid that's like human top, human bottom?
That's a merman. Or that he has a son.
Depends what's
He's a human top, human bottom. That's just a human.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he has a son. He has a son that's a human
Yeah,
top
but-
and a human bottom. You can date him if you like.
No, but like, okay, I see where you're coming from because that guy that can breathe, like that can hold his breath for a long time, he can hold his breath for like 20 something minutes. And so you'd think when we talk about human top, human bottom, mermaid sort of thing, you'd think, oh, it's the guy that can breathe underwater. No, I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about like a girl that can breathe underwater that also looks exactly like a human. If you've ever watched the movie Race to Witch Mountain,
Everyone would pick her, wouldn't they?
Yeah, come on. Far out.
not exactly. I know. I have
Goodness
a friend.
gracious.
I have a friend who really likes fishing, and I honestly would not be sure. I would not be sure if he'd pick the fish top, fish bottom, or the human top, human bottom.
Fucking a fish.
Well,
It's
but
gone so far off the question.
a fish, but it could speak English.
All right.
What about a fish that could speak French? That would be like such a snobby fish. I'd hate it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that fish. All the other ones are free game. Burying the dead is one of the sillier traditions we still follow.
No, I don't reckon.
I think so.
Why is it silly? What are you going to do with the dead bodies?
Burn it?
Closet.
Where?
What do you mean where? I'll burn it wherever I want, in the fire pit out the back, and then spread the ashes somewhere. Donate the body to science? I think we're wasting space. I think graveyards. By the way, I'm devil's advocate here, people. Do whatever you like with your dead body. I think that I spoke about this with Owen. My preference of when I die is that you get me you create a log raft and you tie me up to the log raft and you send me out to the water, and then you get my wife Gemma to train. I'll be training her up through our whole marriage to get really good at archery. And then so comes my final deathbed. She shoots a fiery arrow at my corpse. And then you, who's been working on your singing voice the whole time, as she does it, you sing Silent Night as she shoots the arrow, and then everyone cries.
I have a very
Control of letting people cry.
if not one tear has been shed
see. So
by
that's
the
the thing,
moment
is
the
that
arrow is approaching my face, I'm grabbing that thing and putting it out.
I think that's why we make such a good duo, is because you and I are like we're quite similar, but we're also quite different. Like we're opposites in some ways. Like you want everyone to cry at your funeral. I want everyone to cheer. And here's the way I'm going to pull that off.
You won't need to.
No.
You won't
don't
need to do
understand.
anything to pull that
You don't
off.
understand. You don't understand. So here's what I want. I want, when I die, I want them to try and figure out a way to speed up like the decomposition process, so that I turn into crude oil very quickly, and then I want them to refine me to diesel, and I want them to put me into a monster truck, and I want to be in the monster truck. Oh, sorry to spat everywhere. I want to be in the monster truck when it does a backflip in Monster Jam, and then
Can I drive the monster truck?
you can drive the monster truck unless you're dead first, which is probably very highly likely, because I have been told that I have a heart kind of like Fire Lap, but apart from the fact that it's not going to give out.
Give out. Give out. My heart's gonna keep going and going and going.
My heart's just gonna trot around the track like an absolute stallion.
Like Tommy Shelby.
Oh,
Tea and biscuits. Tea and biscuits.
oh, Arthur Shelby. Arthur Shelby, have you heard about my racing horse?
Oh, this podcast is horrible. All right. You can judge the state of a nation by the number of potholes in its roads. There is a direct correlation with decline. Agree or disagree?
No.
All right, no. Moving on. It doesn't matter if the glass is half... Oh, this is more of a quote, to be honest. I just thought I'd throw this one in there. It doesn't matter if the glass is half full or half empty. It matters what's in it.
Nah, I actually got hit with this quote. Not this quote exactly. I got hit with the... are you half empty or half full, Jake, from my head of house back at school. Or she might have said, like, you're so half empty all the time. And I said to her, Miss Filling, I'm not concerned whether the glass is half empty or half full. I'm just grateful I got water in the glass. And she didn't clap because I think that was right after I told her that they should put the COVID vaccine in vapes so that they could get all the kids vaccinated.
Hey.
And she didn't like that idea because she was strongly against vapes, but she was very strongly for vaccines. So I thought, why don't we combine the two, and that'll solve the problem. But she didn't take it, and I think it was because that she was very stubborn. She was a very stubborn lady, and she didn't like me.
I was similar as a kid. I had a situation when I was in primary school when I was doing drawing in class, and I was never a very good drawer as a kid, and so still not a very good drawer. And I was trying to get this drawing right. I was trying to get it really good. And then my teacher came over and saw that I was getting clearly very frustrated at this drawing. And he came over and said, you don't have to be such a perfectionist, Tyson. And I took serious offense because I, in my child brain, was fully convinced he just called me a pessimist. For some reason, that was the biggest insult he could have given to me at the age of 10 years old. And I fully lost it.
You would know of the Art Smith, the one that hated us?
Arthur Smith. He's a good dude.
No, the Art Smith. The art guy.
Yeah.
So I did VisCom, biggest mistake of my life. And I've made some big mistakes, guys. Anyway, we were sitting down doing the drawing and stuff, and he came over and he was like, yours sucks. This is horrible. And I think I just turned to him and I said, it's fucking art. When am I going to use this?
He was quite a cruel man.
But
He was very
art
cruel.
is very interpretive. So you might think it's bad, but who's to say any piece of art is bad?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of art.
But that's what the whole quote is saying. Doesn't matter if this art is good or bad. It matters what it is. Doesn't matter if the glass is half full or half empty.
I see it as different.
You see it as half full or half empty?
Half full.
I don't
Yeah,
really.
that's a good attitude. But I think it shouldn't be about whether it's full or
No.
empty. Let's think about what's in it. Is there alcohol in it?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Is as I've grown up, I've seen it differently. I used to see half full, half empty. Now I just see I'm halfway to my next beer.
No, it's great. Next up.
You hate me.
Electric cars are soundless and boring is the gearhead's toxic masculinity.
Sorry, come again?
Electric cars are soundless and boring is the gearhead's toxic masculinity.
I don't understand the question.
I don't know. It's a quote. Electric cars are soundless and boring is a quote, and then that person responding and saying, this is gearhead's toxic masculinity.
No, my favorite thing about Teslas in particular is that they have a very advanced crash avoidance system. And so if they're pissing you off on the road, you can swerve into them or you can brake check them and it'll avoid the crash. Like you can brake check them and the car will like just go to a full stop.
Yeah.
Without the driver like knowing about it.
Yeah.
Well, obviously the driver's going to know about it. But so that's going to be tomorrow's project.
I think this was definitely written by a Tesla driver that's very insecure that they're a Tesla driver because they got laughed at by a couple of kids. Yeah. But that's what you get when you drive a Tesla.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter whether or not I'm seeing this situation as half full or half empty. It doesn't mean I'm an optimist or a pessimist. It just matters about what's in my heart, man. Ribbed condoms don't actually taste like ribs. Yet to try this one, but thought this was a bonus one that I'd throw in because now I'm not going to waste my money on any ribbed condoms.
I
also don't know what that is.
I thought you said ripped condoms, and I was like, they're definitely not going to taste like ribs.
I don't actually know what a ribbed condom is. All right. You became a better person when you work out regularly. Because you have more energy to handle stress around you. You are not easily irritated over small things. And are more patient and always in a good mood.
Well, that's not necessarily true, but it is true that from working out, you have more endorphins in your brain, and they're like...
Yeah. Working out makes you feel good, but I don't think it makes you a
better person.
more happy person. Oh,
The gym rats
I don't know.
are the biggest a-holes in the
Yeah, but that's because they're pumping tren and like steroids and stuff. Yeah.
Blow off some steam.
Yeah, blow off some steam, get some good endorphins.
That's not even funny. I don't look that old.
That was actually our last debate topic of the podcast.
Hmm?
That was our last debate topic of the podcast.
Awesome.
I feel like we really got to the bottom of some pretty pressing issues
Yeah.
there. Next up, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. I'm joking.
Hinge pickup line. This is just a very quick one. This is one that I sent out today, actually. I've decided to hop back on Hinge because I find it funny.
And that's why you should all be on dating apps, to be funny. What an attention-seeking whore, people.
This one girl had on her profile...
Love always triumphs. Love, not war.
Love always comes on top.
Love always comes on top, except if you're Jacob, because we established he's a bottom.
No, so... this girl had on her profile as one of her prompts, it was something like, I'm weirdly attracted to talking like talking like we're in a corporate email. Thanks, head office. So I replied to it saying, hey, whatever her name was. Just got some feedback from HR about you flashing some of the interns. Do you mind coming by my office a bit later? I want to see what all the rave's about.
Ooh. I don't know if that's good game or not. It's not good game. Jury's out. Did you get a response?
I don't know, I haven't checked.
Yeah, probably not. I think that's quite good. I don't know if I don't know if the first part, the second part where you're like, well, I want to know what all the rave's about. Maybe it's forward.
Yeah, it shows my intentions.
Yeah, I want to see.
I'm open to new experiences.
After some Nobu, I feel like nah.
After some Nobu,
nah. You never owed anything.
no, you never owed anything.
Never owed
Even if you
anything.
spend $1,000 on a date.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what you said before. You said if I give it a Nobu, you better
Yeah, but
I was clearly joking,
That was a joke.
and there
I
were
don't wanna get
undertones
cancelled
of
here.
very.
Oh, I wasn't there, but I want to stick up and give him the benefit of the doubt and say he wasn't joking.
I was
Don't say
joking.
he wasn't joking.
I was
Come
joking,
on,
but
that's
there were
rude.
definitely some strong undertones of I'm very serious, and that would be the case.
Well, I want my future daughter, who's potentially watching this in the future, to know you never owe anyone anything.
And I like them though. I've been talking to someone, and she's been really liking my jokes.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's why.
And I told her the other day that every time she works with children,
So much.
he does. He was actually he's my first love.
That doesn't surprise me.
Not in like a gay way. Not that it's a bad thing, but I've never been sexually attracted to him. I haven't been. He has. To put it in more simple terms, he's never made my dick hard. There's never been a moment where I've gone, why do I have a boner right now? There's only ever been a moment where, like, if anyone else, if this was a go right now, I would be rock solid. You tell them what to do.
Like, subscribe, follow, review. Help us out a little if you want to. Close to midnight and something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. You start to squeeze as horror looks right between the eyes. You're paralyzed, 'cause this is thriller night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You know it's thriller night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller